Hello and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Judith, and today I'm going to do something I never thought I was going to do on a food video. We're going to do a roast beef. Now, how simple can it be? That's what I thought when I started this. But then one day I was talking to one of my oldest and dearest friends, and I realized there was a time when I had no idea how to make a roast beef and have it turn out the way I wanted it to. Mine were always dry and overcooked, and it wasn't the cut of meat, which is what I thought at first. I mean, you can get something like a tri-tip that is a beautiful piece of meat, and you can do it well done, and it's still tender and lovely. But other cuts of meat, you have to take a little more care. So what I have here is slightly over 1 kilogram of beef. It's labeled a sirloin tip quick roast, and it has been mechanically tenderized. At least that's what the label says. I do not see any tenderizing happening there. But it's a nice cut of beef. It has, looks like a tendon running through it, but that should be okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to season our beef with some salt and pepper. And I do just some coarse sea salt and peppercorns and smash them in a mortar and pestle. And then you don't want a whole lot because otherwise you're going to end up too salty. And just roll it on there. Make sure you get everything covered. And then we're going to put it in our roasting pan. Now if you have a roasting pan that you can get a rack in the bottom, that would be even better. Unfortunately, I don't have a rack that'll fit in this one, and as you can see, I've had it a long time. It's well used, but it is perfect for this size of roast. Never put your roast in a cold oven. Always preheat your oven, whether you're doing 325 or 350. And you don't want to cook it as long as you probably think you have to. 20 minutes per pound. So that works out to about 50 minutes for a kilogram of beef. I will give it an hour. And that way it's not screamingly rare, but it still will be on the medium side, medium rare. And then once you take it out of the oven, you do let it rest for at least 15 minutes, covered with tin foil, just so the juices can re-soak back in and rearrange themselves, because roasting it drives all those wonderful beef juices out. That's how you get your drippings for gravy. One thing to remember with meat, not only do you not want to put it into a cold oven, you don't want the meat to be cold. So leave it out of the fridge at least an hour, preferably more than 2 or 3, just so that it comes up closer to room temperature. Because you really don't want your meat cold when it goes in the oven. Most people don't know how to tell if their beef is done. So my roast beef has been in the oven an hour at 350 degrees. And you don't want to poke it very often, but we are going to check now. So you're going to get a stab. And there's a lot of blood coming out, which is fine. It means it's rare. And we are going to let it rest. There is a lot of drippings already in the pan. I don't know if you can see that. But we are going to now remove this from the pan and cover it and let it rest. This will make our gravy, and I don't do a traditional gravy. I use Marsala wine. I do use a little bit of flour and water to make a roux with the beef juices. You need to bring that to boil, and then we add the flour and water mix, and then that creates a roux. Then we add our Marsala and a little bit of beef broth. So when your gravy is almost ready, it needs to thicken a little bit more, but what we want to do Now that we've rested our beef, we're going to pour off the juices that have dripped from it into our gravy. We'll just recover the beef, stirring those. That will add extra flavor. And as soon as that thickens a little bit, it's dinner time. So there is a simple roast beef. This is something I never thought I would do for a video. It is so simple to do, I never thought anyone would want to see it. But then I realized that there was a point when I had no idea how to make a roast beef come out tender, juicy, and cooked the way I like it. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll bring you more recipes in the near future. If there's anything you want to see, put a comment in. Let me know what recipes you would love to see me do. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.